Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, though the reason why I'm here is not so happy. It's not too good to hear about my country in the context of right-wing extremism, but unfortunately my country enjoys one of the most successful right-wing extremist political party in Hungary. In my short presentation, I would like to show you the results of our researches, and I would like to put it into international context, because I think Hungary is a good experimental field where we can study right-wing extremism and how to handle them, how to tackle them. My presentation has two parts. In the first part, I would like to show you what not to do and what are the misconceptions about right-wing extremist political movements. And the second part, I will talk about what we recommend to do based on our Hungarian experience. So, in the previous presentations, we heard that the right-wing extremist political movements are very diverse in Europe, but we found three main common features of them. First of all, they are all against some sort of ethnic minority. They are anti-establishment, so they focus on criticism against mainstream political elites and democracies. And the third one is that they are against the European Union. These are the common features of all European extremist parties, but in the rest, they are completely different from each other. There are four misconceptions about right-wing extremist political parties, and we have to understand these to find the right solutions to tackle them, to handle them. First of all, many analysts say that the 1930s are back. We are talking about Weimar again, and I think this is not true. First of all, this misconception is based on the statement that right-wing extremism is on the rise universally everywhere in Europe. That's not true. In some countries they are on the rise, in some countries they are in decline. For example, in Bulgaria they used to be big, now they are going down. Party there is called Ataka, which is very important in Hungary because the Hungarian right-wing extremist parties copied Ataka in the early stages. So we can't say that in each country the extreme right is on the rise. Where, in those countries where the right-wing extremism is on the rise, it's not caused by the crisis. It has no economic backgrounds. Of course, the economic crisis can strengthen right-wing extremist parties, but everywhere where right-wing extremist parties are too strong, there are much deeply rooted, much deeper rooted reasons in society for the rise of extreme right. In Hungary, in the Czech Republic, we can talk about the anti-gypsy sentiments or the anti-establishment sentiments. But these are not caused by the crisis. The Hungarian right-wing extremist party started its operation in 2006, when Hungary had a 3% GDP growth and 30% living standards rise. So this is definitely not the result of the economic crisis, as happened in the Weimar period. Many analysts say that this is an economic problem, so it can be solved by welfare transfers. Give money to the people and to the poor, and they will not join the extremists. This is again a misconception because, according to our analysis, supporters of the right-wing extremist party are not working class people, not poor people. They are highly educated people, and they are middle class people. So transferring welfare to poor classes will not solve the problem. And altogether, we can say that this misconception, the 1930s are back, is wrong. The second delusion or misconception is that when in power, the far right loses its beauty and people turn away from the right-wing extremist parties. When we say in power, we can distinguish between being in parliament, getting into the parliament, or being in government. I brought you some cases from 4 different countries which show that in some cases they lose their beauty, in some cases they don't, they can gain back their support. So this is again a misconception. In Hungary, between 1998 and 2002, we had an old-fashioned extreme right-wing political party, which lost its beauty after 4 years and fell out of the parliament. But now we have a new extremist political movement which is in parliament and it's not losing its support at all. So again, this statement is not true. I brought you some examples of different situations in different countries where when getting to the parliament or in the government, how it affected the support for the different political parties. As you can see in the second column, that in certain countries some extremist parties succeeded at increasing their support when they were in parliament or in power. The third misconception is that the far right can be driven back through the electoral system. Modifying, changing, playing tricks with the electoral system can push them out. This is not true. It was not true in Hungary. It was not true in France. I showed these are some figures about the support for National in France. It didn't prevent amending the election system didn't prevent them from gaining support. And finally, the last misconception is that the legal fetishism, that through legal measures this problem can be solved. This is again not true. In Hungary, the Hungarian Guard, which is a quasi-paramilitary group, was dissolved by the High Court, but it still survives and it's stronger than ever. So again, legal actions will not give you a final solution to this problem. So, what can we do with the situation? How can we handle the right-wing extremism based on our experiences in Hungary? Let's start with the cliché-like solutions and answers. Everybody knows this, and our previous presenters talked about this. But every cliché is true, so let's collect it. First of all, education. This is very important. In schools, democracy education and the stimulation of the debating culture is very important. What we see in Hungary from the figures is that the younger you are, the most likely you are a supporter of the right-wing extremist political movements. In Hungary, the Che Guevara t-shirt is not popular. We have these quasi-Nazi t-shirts and anti-Gypsy t-shirts, and it's very dangerous because our right-wing extremist political party has the youngest supporter base. So it means that we will have them here for a long time. And this is a very important result and a very important evidence of the failure of our education system. When this education system practically generates the support for the right-wing extremist party, there's something wrong. The second is community building. I don't think I have to explain this. And of course, a cooperation between NGOs and the state, and reaching out the possible extremist and vulnerable groups. I will talk about this last point later. So the second, and this is one of the controversial proposals we made based on our researches. We don't think that stigmatizing will work against extremist political parties. Why? When you stigmatize them that they are, let's say, racist, then the people will ask, what the lady talked about it in the previous session, that then people will ask, okay, but the gypsies stole my bicycle. Why couldn't the mainstream politics protect my bicycle? And the mainstream politics has no answer to this question. So when you stigmatize them, you practically praise them in the eyes of these voters. When you say that right-wing extremism is a threat to the democratic system, many voters who are discontent with the system will say that, okay, this is why I will vote for them, because they are against the system, because they are a threat to this corrupt system. Those people who are discontent, disappointed at democratic institutions and the system, it will not be a stigma in their eyes, but it will be a praise in their eyes. So again, stigmatizing, fear-mongering will not work against these extremist political parties, and it didn't work in the past couple of years. So And one more point that, as I said, that young people are very much attracted to these ideologies because they are rebels. So if you want to stop them, if you want to prevent the spread of these ideologies, we have to find out some other solutions. And what we are suggesting is ridiculing them instead of stigmatizing them. I would say that one viral video worth more than 100 press conferences. This is because this is where they are so vulnerable. They can't handle when they are being ridiculed. I give you an example. In Hungary, our extremist party is called Jobbik. It turned out 3 months ago that the number 3 person in the ranks of the party is of Jewish origin. We are talking about an anti-Semitic party. It came as a shock. Emergency meetings inside the party. The guy confessed that he didn't know about that his grandmother is of Jewish origin. But then, a fake report was leaked to the media that this guy of Jewish origin tried to blackmail another person inside the party not to tell his secret to the media. So it turned out that the whole story was known inside the party, and the guy, of course, had to leave the party, and the cherry on the pie was when this guy approached my company and they wanted to sell all the dirty secrets of the party to my company. So this is just a very simple example that there are lots of possibilities to ridicule these political movements because they are full of scandals. In Hungary, inside the Jobbik party, there are porn stars. There are people who shoot Kalashnikov with Kalashnikov and they put it on YouTube. So there are lots of possibilities, opportunities for democratic forces to ridicule them. And this is the only way we think that they can be tackled because, as in our experience in Hungary, this was a scandal, as I mentioned, that the Jobbik party couldn't really handle. And this was a real shock for the party members and party supporters. The third recommendation is the close engagement with the electorate. Radical right claims to be the champion of truth. They say that we say things as it is, as they are. So it's very difficult to fight against very simple language, very simple rhetoric, what they use. We call this rhetoric populist. So the solution for mainstream political parties is to use populism against the populists. Of course, there are different levels of populism, and we have to be very careful not to overuse or abuse populism. But you have to be populistic. You have to go to meet your voters in person. You have to be a strong grassroots movement because all right-wing extremist movements and grassroots movements, they have very close interactions with their voters and supporters. So this is the third recommendation that we made, and as I said, you have to be more populist and to mobilize your voters, and mobilize especially first voters, the young people, because what we have to stop is that the younger generations become right-wing extremists. So these are the examples and recommendations from the Hungarian experience, and thank you very much.